Hello, my name is Saul Ferrandez, and I'm gonna explain and introducing the demographic range of Phocoena. And I will talk about how are got the demographic parameters of these species, such as sex, production, and growth. And finally, I will explain how Phocoena is currently in reference to its conservation status. Phocoena is distributed in temperate and subarctic waters of the northern hemisphere, mainly on the continental shelf. Some areas have been studied than others, some we know almost nothing about, and certain areas have a generally low abundance so that very little is known at all. I will want to focus on Europe population because the northern Europe, the harbor porpoise has more stable populations and can be found in the British Isles, the English Channel, the North Sea, the coast of Norway, and the entrance of the Baltic Sea. The harbor porpoise is generally regarded as predominantly a coastal dwelling species, so that most studies reflect information gathered from a combination of directed catches, bycatches, and strandings. All these sources are valuable for providing biological information, but each carries some bias when it comes to interpretation of parameters. There are another methods about aerial or ship surveys. Well, the first of the demographic parameters is the age. The age at first is the method. The most usual preparation method is decalcification and thin sectioning of teeth on a freezing microton followed by straining with hematoxylin or toluidine blue stain. And longevity is always a trade-off between potential and actual maximum age achievable. In wild populations, it is frequently hard to ascertain longevity because of sample biases. Extrapolation from age frequency distributions to predict potential longevity often underestimates because samples originate from directed catches, bycatches, or strandings, where age distributions are not representative of the populations. We can see on the table the average lifespan and a will status at 13 years. On the other hand, age and sexual maturity and parturition estimates of mean age at sexual maturity are presented in table for several populations and regions. Generally, the age falls within the range 3-4 years for both sexes, but maybe 2 years or even 5 years. The second one parameter is reproduction. Reproduction as method is a variety of methods have been employed to obtain mean age at sexual maturation. These include the method of the master, which use the fraction immature animals at age, and the method of Hon, which use the modification of this algorithm. The methods employed for estimating age at sexual maturity can also be applied for determining mean length at sexual maturity. In general, maturation is greatly influenced by attainment of a minimum size, particularly body weight, which may be about 70-75 or more percent or more of average physically mature adult weight in in cetaceans and perhaps about 90% of adult body length. And results information of reproductive parameters depends heavily on collections and examinations of carcasses, from catches, bycatches, and strandings. It's not clearly known how extensive the mating season is in Phocoena, but it seems that mating mainly occurs from June to September, with birds occurring from May to August. It is commonly noted that gestations lasts 11 months, with nursing following for another 7 or 8 months. A female give will give birth to one calf per year. Sexual maturity is reached by the fifth year, if not before, and the lifespan on Phocoena is believed to be anywhere from 6 to 20 years. And the third demographic parameter is the growth. As method, growth of the individuals is usually described from a composite picture based on size at age for many individuals from a population, especially on one being exploited, when samples are often readily available. Thus, the growth curve represents not one individual but the average individual in that population express growth exponentially and provides as an asymptotic size. As results, several studies have examined growth in the harbor porpoise. It appears that individuals in most populations have reached near asymptotic size by 8 years of age. In the first year of life, harbor porpoise grow rapidly from about 70 centimeters to 150 centimeters, with a half percent increase in length and the weight increase from about 5 kilograms to 31 kilograms. I should to say that on biological parameters, generally can be recognized that there are big difference in parameters between populations, which may be explained by either intrinsic in mating and parturition seasons or asymptotic size, or both about by external factors as agreed sexual maturity, growth rate, longevity, etc. There are have several points as as age, sex, and date are also essential information for constructing growth curves. Harbor porpoise are bycaught often in fishing gear, especially gill nets. Throughout their range and several populations are of conservation concern, including the Baltic Sea subpopulation, which is classified as critical endangered, and the Black Sea subspecies, which is classified as endangered. They are also subject to direct hunting in some areas, especially in Greenland. Available estimates indicate that there are well over a million harbor porpoise globally, and there is no evidence that the trees are resulting in a continuing global population decline. This species was listed as least concern of the red list in 28, and it remained least concern in this updated assessment. Despite this, there are some populations, such as the Afro-Iberican harbor porpoise population, that are of conservation concern and, and may warrant separate population assessment. Although fishing of Phocoena is now illegal in most areas because the species is still in danger. Deliberate and accidental death still occur because modern fishing nets are almost undetectable to porpoises. Since these nets are commonly used in nearshore areas, in the natural range of Phocoena, they probably kill large number of porpoise. In addition to death related to fishing, porpoise also suffer from chemical and noise pollution.